WROK.
Good morning, everybody. Dave Schmidt along with Matt Nestor and producer Tom Warner. Let's shift our gears a little bit to some high school girls volleyball. And with us today, we have Rockford University head volleyball coach Curt Sivertsen. And he's involved with the USA Volleyball Junior Olympic National Championships coming up. He coaches the 18 black team, and they'll be going to Indianapolis, Indiana. First of all, Coach, good to have you along today.
Good morning, gentlemen. It's good to be here.
Hey, let's talk about the tournament coming up. Tell us a little bit about it and about your plans. I think you go on Monday or so?
Yeah, I have to head down. Well, actually, I'll have to head down on Monday. We'll be playing down in Indianapolis. It's the USA Volleyball Junior Olympic National Championships for girls. And we're, with our 18 black team, we're going to be competing against 64 teams in our division for the possible national championship of what's called the 18 American. We also have our 17 black team is also qualified for the national championships, and they're going to be playing in 17 national, which is the next division up for at the level for them. And then right now our 12 black team is actually on its way down there, and they're going to start play on Monday.
You know, you look at a tournament like this, obviously you're playing for a national championship, which is a big deal. But how much does this help for the girls, as far as, getting exposure when you talk about, maybe college scholarships and maybe even chances to play for national teams down the road?
Oh, it's huge because there's going to be tons of college coaches there. A lot of them are going to be Division I, but there's also going to be a lot of Division II, NAIA schools, Division III. Just playing USA Volleyball itself or JVA Volleyball, which is the alternative, it'll get you a lot of exposure to those college coaches because that's the best time to be seen when the college coaches are not in season. They can get out there and see. So for our kids and for our club, it's a great experience for them, and it gets some great exposure.
And your teams are part of the Rockford Volleyball Club, too. Am I right, Coach?
That's correct.
And tell us a little bit about the Rockford Volleyball Club. People hear all these things about club teams during the summer. Just explain to us what Rockford Volleyball Club is and who takes care of all that stuff.
Yeah, the Rockford Volleyball Club, it works in conjunction with the Rockford Park District. We've been a club, I think, for I know it's been well over 10 years. Basically what we are is we're a USA Volleyball Club. Kids come in, they have to try out for the teams. I think we have somewhere around 16 to 18 teams in our club, so we're actually very large in size. We have been practicing up until historically up at the ISC out at off of Riverside, but starting next year we'll move down to the UW Health Factory and start practicing down there and start playing our tournaments. We basically have what's called national teams. We have regional teams, and the national teams are for our top players. And they compete on a national level. They'll go around, they'll play all the big tournaments, whether it's a qualifier or the big tournaments within our region. And our regional teams will play mostly local tournaments, but also regional tournaments as well. And we play in what's called the Great Lakes region for volleyball, which this entire country is broken up in different regions. And our region is basically centered out of Chicago. So for us, a lot of our matches will be in Chicago metropolitan area. We also host matches almost every weekend at the club, and then we can also go out of state too as well.
I'm just looking through, the little story we have here on the tournament, just looking at some of the coaches that are just involved there with not only yourself, but get Andy Nelson from Dakota, who's had a great program, Amanda Carlson, Lutheran, who's a great coach. How much fun is it to kind of get some great coaches together like that to work with these players?
Oh, it's a lot of fun. This is my first year here at the club, so it's an opportunity for me to meet those people and network them, but on top of that, it's an opportunity for all of us to do what we love to do, which is talk volleyball, and be able to work on the court, be able to watch each other coach, learn different things, learn different techniques, different drills, stuff like that they love to do. So it's been a great experience. Everybody at this club has invested themselves into it. They're very positive with the players. We have an investment in our players. We want our players to succeed. We want our players to have a great experience. And that's one of the great things about working for the club.
That's we're talking with Curt Sivertsen, the head volleyball coach at Rockford University, and also he has a team going to the USA Volleyball Junior Olympic National Championships. You know, I had a chance Monday night, and that sports factory is just a beautiful place to watch games, and even have a little air conditioning in there, so it was kind of nice. But your team is really made up of a mixture of kids from around the area. Tell us about your team and some of the kids you have on it.
Yeah, my team is really is exactly that. We have 3 players from Rockford East, and Samantha and Courtney Jumbach and McKenna Turek. We have Grace Zimmer is out of, I believe, Harlem. I've got Kate Holstrom, who plays for Guilford. Then I have Jessica Jacks, who's out of Hononegah. I've got a Juliet Becky, who's out of Belvedere North. And I've got... you got me on the spot now. I'm trying to think of all my players and where they're all from. I've got Sydney Morales out of Jefferson, and I've got our newest player that just joined us this year is Jordan Turasek, who's out of Lutheran. So we've got a good mix of all our players in that program from the different high schools in the area.
You know, when you look at something like this, especially with you coaching the 18 team, you know, these are probably a lot of players that have played together for a long time now coming up, you know, through the program. I'm sure there's been some different ones added through as the years have gone, but I'm sure there's a core there. How much does that help when you get to this point to have players that are probably very, very familiar with each other?
It helps a lot. In our case, we're not the tallest team in the world, so we have to be the smarter team. We have to be more cerebral when we go out there and play. We have to be able to have people who are flexible and willing to get outside of their comfort zone. That's not necessarily easy to do with 18-year-olds, but for us, it helps a lot because they've all played with each other. But I've got players who played together when they were 12 years old at the club. They came up together. So for them, this is going to be kind of an emotional experience because this is the last time they're going to be playing together when we go down to Indianapolis. So it helps a lot because they get to know each other. But more importantly, it's pretty impressive that they've stuck together all these years and that they came out here and we put this team together, and they've done just a great job of winning the bid to go to national championships and being able to just play the way they do and at the level that they do.
How much has it been a benefit for you to play in the Monday Summer League down there at the Sports Factory? That's got to be a lot of pluses for you guys. And then some of those kids, when they get done playing for you, they'll go over and play with their high school team, right?
Yeah, they will. I've only got 3 kids on my team that are juniors, and Jordan, Kate, and Sydney. So they'll go off and play. The rest of my team has already graduated. They're getting ready to be able to go off and play in their college programs, respectively. But for the most part, it's good for us because it keeps us getting some touches on the ball, gets us some competition. That it's not just us versus someone in our club or us versus us. So in that aspect, it really helps us. But I think it also helps us, too, because our girls like to be mentors to the girls who are younger on those high school teams. So those girls look up to our players, and our players still have that connection with the high school team. So it's just kind of that time period right now where, you know, they're kind of feeling, oh, my gosh, I'm not going to be back with this group. But, you know, after we go to nationals, I'm sure you're going to see them still going up there watching on Monday nights, watching some of the games that are going on, watching their 3 teammates are still playing. But for the most part, it's still a good experience for us, and it gives us a chance to keep playing at least once a week regularly until we go down to nationals.
You know, when we look at your responsibilities with Rockford University, we've seen Rock Valley at the junior college level really turn some programs around with local kids and things like that. Is it nice for you to be able to kind of take a look at some different players, especially when you're looking at summer leagues, things like that, and kind of have a presence in front of them?
Yeah, that's important for us. One of the things we try to do is we try to make sure that people see who we are and that Rockford University is out there in the public, and people are actually having Rockford University as a visual. Then they start to have it in their mind, hopefully mentally. So when we do contact them and say, hey, we'd like to talk to you about our program, they at least know who we are. They can identify with us. They can see how I coach. They can see how my assistant coach coaches. We coaches for another club. So they get a good feel for that. But more importantly for us, even when we go down to big national tournaments, and we go all over the country recruiting. So we want to make sure people see Rockford University, because the response we get from a lot of people is, I've never heard of that college. So then they're intrigued by it. They want to learn a little bit more. They want to see what we've got as far as the programs and what we have to do. So it really helps us a little bit recruiting. But, it's still a working process for us, because we get out there. We also network with coaches. So for us, it's just going to take a little bit more time before we really start attracting more of the local kids that come in here.
You come from outside the area into Rockford and Rockford University. What do you think about the volleyball atmosphere here in the State Line area?
It's good. Actually, I worked for about 7 years in the Chicago metropolitan area, and we actually did come out to Rockford on a couple occasions to play. So I've seen the growth of the volleyball from around 2003 on to today. It's very competitive. The coaching around here is very good. There's a lot of good young coaches that that bring different backgrounds to the game. So it's an exciting time, I think. I think it just kind of goes hand in hand with, statistics you see. There's a statistic somebody said to me when I was up north in Wisconsin that volleyball has surpassed women's basketball among high school sports for girls as far as the participation rate. And you can see that, too, here in Illinois. I mean, volleyball's always been strong in Illinois. For as long as I can remember, it's been strong in Illinois. So for Rockford area, it's strong. There's a lot of good players in this area. There's a lot of good coaches in this area. So it's a good area for volleyball.
Obviously we'd love to see you guys come back with 3 national championships. So when you look at going down there, at the different levels and everything, where do you think the different teams stack up? And what do you guys hope to accomplish, I guess, aside from a national championship going down to this tournament?
Wow. Well, the different teams, I mean, the first thing we try to tell the kids is that every team is going to be good, no matter what. So you're going to have to earn every point you go out there. For us, I think that I have 2 kids that are 5'9", and the rest of the team is about 5'8", 5'7". So on the national level against what we're going to be playing against teams that have at least 2 or 3 kids are 6 foot or taller. I should say 5'10" or taller. So we're not very tall. So for us, it's going to be good competition. I know in my pool itself, we're in the pool with the number 1 seed in our entire tournament. And that is going to be a fun match for me because I coached at that club, and the head coach of that team is a good friend of mine. So it's going to be a good chess match for both of us to be able to see how we do against each other. But I think as far as our expectations down there, we're really going down there just to play and compete as hard as we can, and we're going to let things happen as they happen. And if we'd certainly like to finish no worse than where we're going down seeded-wise, and just represent the club and represent the region and represent Rockford itself with integrity.
A lot of these tournaments are becoming really, really big, I know. Is there any way people can watch this? I don't know if they'll have it streaming online or anything like that.
Matter of fact, you can watch our second match, which is our match against the number 1 seed in the tournament. That one will actually be on there. If you go to what's called advancedeventsystems.com, and it's a little bit of a tricky thing, but once you get in there, you have to look for the USA JOs in Indianapolis, and you click on that, and then you would just click on 18 American, and you're going to see, you look for Rockford Volleyball Club, or I think it's called Rockford Volleyball Association on their website. If you scroll down, you're going to see a little red box next to our match against Iowa Rockets, which is a 5 p.m. match on Tuesday afternoon, and that match will be streaming live. So if you click on that, you'll be able to see it. But they do stream matches at USA Nationals on what they call the championship court, and it varies each day. They change around the teams, and they change around. They give different teams and different age groups exposure on a national level. So you can go on there, and there's 3 different matches that will be streamed at the same time, and that'll take you to that area where all the matches are that are being streamed, and they'll run them. And so it's a good experience for the kids. It's great for people who can't make it down there to be able to watch your daughter play.
Well, Coach, thanks so much for being on today and getting up early. Good luck down in Indianapolis. Keep us updated, and I'm sure we'll see you around, and maybe we'll have to make it out to a Rockford University match this year.
Yeah, it'd be great. I'd love to have you guys come out, and thanks for letting me come on today and talk to you.
We've been talking with Curt Sivertsen, the head volleyball coach at Rockford University, also taking the 18 and under black team to the USA Volleyball Junior Olympic National Championships. Volleyball's in good hands in the Rockford area.
It's in very good hands, and it's been good for a while, but it seems like it's really starting to, maybe get to another level here, which is fun to see.